felt good for you. So sorry about that Droodles impersonation skit. I'm just gonna get right into the intro. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And today we have another tank review, fellas. And it's gonna be this guy right here, the AMX 30B. This is the Tier 10 French Collector Medium that has pretty solid capabilities and not so good ones at the same time. If we take a look at its armor profile, you could see it's not what you would expect for a medium. It's got like some of the worst armor in the game for a medium tank. You can only see that it's 120 on the turret and 55 on the hull. Ew! To put that into a better perspective about what I mean, this is what you can expect with this armor. It's pretty bad. You can already see that the turret is only 204 millimeters thick. This is not running calibrated shells, by the way. But if you are loading calibrated shells, and if I load that premium damage, you're pretty much going to cut through the whole turret. Even when loading gun depression, it's really not going to work. It's really not going to be that effective, because it's still going to be upwards of 271, which isn't really that much. One of the other downsides about the tank as well while hold down is that you have a giant hatch right here that pretty much every tank can be able to cut through because it's only 75 millimeters thick. The majority of hatches aren't even this size right here. This has got to be one of the biggest hatches I've ever seen on a tank. However, for the upper plate and the lower plate, pretty much going to be the same all around. It's only 100 millimeters thick for the upper plate and only 95 for the lower plates. You got two small cheeks on the sides over here, ranging in from 95 millimeters thick. Here's the side of the vehicle. It's only 37. It's pretty bad. When I load HEs, on the other hand, you can see that that white area, like I mentioned before in the previous video, is going to deal the maximum amount of damage within that vicinity, 322 to 538. Same thing with the back, although you have more spots to HE this tank. You can see that the cheeks of the track wheels right here are only 30. The whole back is the same, and the back of the turret right here only 40 millimeters thick. Those 4 spots right there alone, you'll be able to HE with pretty much any tank. However, there are still some pretty good factors when it comes to this tank's playstyle out on the battlefield. One of them is the damage per minute factors. You can see that this tank has upwards of 3,313 damage a minute. This tank alone ranks upwards of one of the best damage per minute factors in the game. Penetration-wise, it's pretty much what you could expect for a medium tank. Armor piercing, aka standard ammo, is only going to be 263. High explosive anti-tank, aka heats, are going to be upwards of 325. High explosive, only 58. Average damage outputs for this tank, 350 on the standard, 300 on the premium, and 400 on the high explosive. Another really good factor about this tank, like I said before, it's got 10 degrees of gun depression. You'll be able to poke over those solid ridge lines without a hassle. However, if you still want to try to do so, good luck still getting penned during the process. I mean, the turret, like we saw before, is not really going to do you any good. It's only the gun depression that would matter if you would like to get like some extra shots out. Maneuverability-wise, the tank is pretty solid. You can see that it has a top speed of 62 kilometers per hour going forward and 23 in reverse. It's got a really solid power-to-weight ratio of 23.8. Turret turn rate is 46.17, and hull turn rate is 67.32. The good acceleration and the agility alone is really going to make it hard for opponents to hit some of your weak spots. So that really comes into play too with a lot of lights and mediums, especially with one like the AMX 30B right here. However, there are pretty much 2 other distinct downsides to the tank. It's got one of the weakest fuel tanks in the game, which means that any tank, even if it's doing its agility twirls and all that, you're going to have a large % chance of hitting its engine deck and causing the tank to catch on fire. Second off, it's got one of the worst on-movement handlings, also known as the on-movement dispersions. that means pretty much the majority of your shots that are going to be on the move are going to miss the majority of the times that you try to either run away and find cover, or if you're trying to go over a ridgeline, something like that, or if you want to hit the tank that you can see within a view range and such. Alrighty, and here we are in game number 1. I just want to get a quick sip of hydration real quick. Water's just so good. Alright, and let's see what they got up against us for maneuverability. They have an M48 Patton, they have a Caro, and a BC. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to make my way over to this side right here and then showcase my gun depression. Sorry, I just got a text. That's why I was looking down towards the right side of me. So, the majority of tanks usually like to come around at base D right here, but we can see their maneuverability tanks are over towards the left side. So, what I want to do is, if they still have a tank that's over here, there's the Minotauro. I'm going to try to use my gun depression to the best of my ability and see if I can get a quick... Oh, unfortunately, that shot did not go where I expected it. It did hit the hatch, but it didn't seem to want to pen. There's the 183 in the back, the worst camo factor tank in the game. I want to be careful with him because I don't want to get slapped by him. He's probably going to make a poke right here. And there we go. Nice shot into the 183. We're going to put on my adrenaline, get another shot into him. And wow, we actually get a bounce from the 183. I am actually surprised that that shot actually managed to bounce. So now the Minnow is getting crapped on, and the 183 ends up getting finished off. That is pretty ideal. So I'm going to make my way over this way and then try to see if I can get to the side of the Minnow right here, get some shots into him. There we go. Nice shot for 333. Going to reload once again, see if we can get another shot into the Minnow. He doesn't seem to be eyeballing me at the moment, so because he's trying to focus on my two enemies right here. He gets a shot into my... what is it? I tried to remember something real quick. Oh, but I get hit by the M4 MLE 54. Let's see if I could try to get a hatching shot on him. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the top of his roof. So, let's see what I want to do here. We have the 48 Patton and the Caro off to the side, and then we have the 50B, or not the 50B, the M4 MLE 54. Oh my gosh, I keep getting the two tanks mixed up. So, I want to continue this way. I want to see if I can help my grill. There's the other grill right off in the back right here who we are able to spot and finish off. Now that the biggest threat is gone, we can go ahead and continue to move forward. The AMX is right here as well, who gets cleared. And now we're going to see if we can try to finish off this Caro right here. I'm going to use my solid maneuverability and gun depression to get a nice shot for 399 into his tank. And we're just going to sit back right here. Oh, Caro's going to try to bail. We're going to get another shot into him for 368. And we're going to try to see if we can finish off the Caro. There we go. And he is dead. We are going to make our way down over here towards the BC-25. And we are going to get a nice shot into him for 376. And this guy is basically screwed. I feel so bad. Let's get a nice HE into him. And we are going to finish him off. There we go, guys. That was a pretty good game showcasing the really good abilities of the AMX 30B. But yep, we were able to pull a second class off of that one, deal upwards of 3,700 damage, and put on some pretty good stats. So let's get right into another gameplay, shall we? Gotta get another sip of my hydration is key water right here. Alrighty. And here we are in our second game. Up against us, we have an STB and a 121B for maneuverability. Hopefully my two tanks will come along this way, my Leopard and Caro. Yes, indeed they are. That is amazing. So this is also a pretty good map where you can use your 10 degrees of gun depression to your advantage to try to hold off some of the other mediums who are trying to rush you. I really just like to use my gun depression either right in this spot or over on one of those ridges right there, because that is where the majority of your tanks would poke. But in this case, I don't happen to see their mediums just yet. They're probably just going to start coming by in a second. Actually, no, they are over there. So there is the STB over towards the side. I am not sure what happened to that shell. It seemed to have gone low for some odd reason. So we're just going to keep making our way over here towards this side. See if we can get some more bonks into the enemies right over here. We do have that 57 heavy. He's trying to eyeball through the train tracks right over there. And there is 2 camping tanks over towards the right side. And we are going to get a nice slap into the JG and the far back side of the map. And his health is brought down to nothing. There is the E4. And we're going to get a nice shot for 366. And now he's trying to eyeball us. So now we're going to see if we can get another shot. Oh, the lag spikes. That's part of the reasons why I don't like my internet sometimes, is the fact that it tends to have so much ping variations. But anyways, we get a nice shot into the 121B right there. Caro hits him as well. So now we see a couple of the enemies. We got the concept right there. Get a nice 395 into his tank. We're going to reload again and see if we can get another shot into one of these guys. There is the E4. It's aiming on his hatch. Oh, that shell just goes a little bit to the left. But the E4 is brought down health, so we're going to make our way over towards this way and see if I can finish off the 121B, who seems to have done nothing at all, corral himself in a corner. We are also going to finish off the 57 heavy while we're at it, so we're reloading, and he's already finished off. Let's make our way over to this side and clear the T110E4. I honestly don't care if that guy shot me, and now he's dead. So let's see, we have a 777 version 2 over here. We're going to get a nice slap into for 335. Concept is right here as well. We're going to see if we can get a nice slap inside to his tank for a nice max roll of 438. And there you guys go. There is the AMX 30B and its capabilities. I really love the tank overall. I know a lot of people assume that it's a really bad tank. But in my opinion, when you know how to play it right, like I've said before, for the majority of tanks in the game, it really becomes extremely effective in scenarios like this one. We were able to pull a 3rd class with that one and have a damage output of 2765 with 2 kills. And yeah, that seems to have done the trick. Overall, in my personal opinion, the AMX 30B is a pretty solid tank. You have maneuverability, you have a really good damage outputting gun, and you have solid gun depression. A lot of the people that say that the AMX 30B is somewhat of a terrible collector tank, I would have to disagree, simply because of the fact that it is a skill issue. And for the majority of people that don't really understand the play styles of certain mediums and light tanks in the game, I don't really know what to say to you, but just learn how to play it better. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out on any new uploads, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.